Hey everyone, it's Joey Murphy with lightsitewholesale.com here. We got episode 7 with Rylan. Rylan's here local in our area in North Fort Worth, Roanoke area. He does Christmas lighting, he does roofing, he does many other things that we're aware of. But with Rylan is he came to me, I don't know, like 3 or 4 years ago, and he started buying supplies from us. And it was by far our busiest, craziest season that year. And for some reason, I don't know why this guy came back. We kept messing up his orders. And it's just a lot of times I was like, why are we messing this guy's order up? And it just was when he came in, he always had a smile on his face. We didn't even do our processes. Like I would forget maybe a bag of clips with him and everything. And we just, I guess through that kind of developed somewhat of a friendship, a relationship that he wanted to invite me places and do things. And he just had such a kind heart. So when somebody is that welcoming and forgiving, I want to entertain it. And so with Rylan, he owns agape Christmas lights. I love that word, by the way, and the meaning behind it. It's one of my favorite words. And he does Christmas lights. He also does roofing as well. And so without further ado, I want to invite Rylan to the show. So I'm going to introduce a new thing where we introduce music on top of the cover photo to really give it a big introduction. So everybody get ready to welcome Rylan.
What's up, Joey?
What's up, dude? How you doing today?
What's happening? I find it funny that you had to start there. You had to start there. It was wonderful.
Yeah.
We just had that conversation. He's like, "Why is this guy coming back?" And I'm like, "Dude, I found somebody that sells me lights that will actually have a conversation with me. This is great. I'm not ordering through a screen."
You're not there
So it
for
looks
lights.
like
You're there for therapy
yeah.
is what you're there for.
All right. Yeah, you can say that's true.
Yeah. Well, hey, tell if everybody doesn't know you, let's and by the way, forgive me if I mess up all the transitions today. I created new templates and stuff, but why don't you tell everybody a little bit about yourself, your years of experience and what you're doing and kind of your mission, your goal and everything else?
Well, first and foremost, I'm a follower of Jesus. That stands first. That comes first. Faith comes first. I have a beautiful wife. I've got two amazing kids. I wouldn't trade that for anything. So doing the Christmas light business has been awesome. It's been a fun journey. I've been doing this for about going on 9 years now. And it's just brought joy to my heart ever since I've started.
That's awesome. So with it is, why did you start a seasonal Christmas light business? Like what
Well,
made
here,
you choose this,
well, here's the thing. So my family, computer folks, I love them to death.
What do
They
you
do
what do you mean by
coding.
computer?
They do coding. You know, one's a CPA, computer programmer. They're awesome people. And I tried it. My dad tried to teach me it. I'm like, this is not working. I'm like about to lose it. I was like, I gotta move. I gotta do something and move. And so I always had an infatuation with getting on a roof. And I'm like, all right, well, if somebody needed me to get on a roof, let me get on a roof. And so I was mowing yards and I was like, hey, I gotta find something to do, when it's slow. And I had a couple of customers be like, hey, why don't you help hang some lights? I'm like, yeah, I can do that. I like getting on the roof. And that's how it started. I was just like, dude, this is awesome. I get paid to get on people's roofs. This is great. And it just started flowing from there.
Yeah. So what made you like what was the first like I kind of know the first thing that triggered me into like going down the path. Like I remember the moment. Is there a moment that you had where you're just like the first like you said you got on a roof, but when's the first time you did Christmas lights and got on a roof? Was it like for a family friend? Did you approach it like a business model at first?
No, it wasn't a business model. It was just a help. It was like a family that needed help. And they're like,
Yeah.
hey, we'd really love this on our house. I'm like, sure, no problem. And so I get up there. I think what made it stick and my aha moment was when they looked at it and the smiles lit up and the joy was there. I'm like, okay, now I have a job with purpose because not only do I get fulfilled out of this, now I get to bring fulfillment to others while serving. And so it just all clicked. And I knew
Yeah,
right
that
there that's where I had to go.
yeah, I know. That's one of the things that I like too when I started was just, I mean, seeing kids jumping around in the driveways and stuff like that after like at dusk and the lights are coming. I mean, it is an amazing thing. It's very rewarding, this
Very.
Christmas light. It's very stressful, but very rewarding, right? I mean,
So
I
I
feel
had
like most
this
stressful things are rewarding, because you have
a
to go
hundred
through
percent,
something.
a hundred
Um,
percent.
but I love it too. I got hooked to it, and then if you can do that and create those kind of memories, I know a lot of times people are like, "You're creating memories," and how do you do that? And how do you be successful with it? I mean, that's what the business is like. The whole business is how to make people create memories for people and give that value there. It's very very big,
Mm,
and if some people do it better than others, right? So there's a lot of times that you have to go against the grain a little bit, even if you're like really tired or something like that, and
right.
you
Hmm.
just wish you could get home, and then you're like, "Ah, I got to go do this, I got to go do that," and that's what I'm saying about the stress. But in the end, is you provide that magical experience, and I got hooked. I don't know about you, but I got hooked
It is.
big time.
Oh, 100%. It's addicting.
Very, very addicting. And that's the other thing is controlling that fulfillment that you get from it. And because you do the project and they're happy. Everybody's running around and they got what they paid for and they're very, very happy. But for you, you're getting that constantly. You're seeing a new experience, a new experience, a new experience. And it is pretty rewarding. And then the more, and I find it more with residentials, like commercial properties as we develop more and more, is I started not being at job sites all the time, right? And I didn't get to see the customers all the time. And then all of a sudden we start compiling a list. I'm like, I don't even know half of our residentials anymore, and it started to be like,
Right.
I knew everybody. I knew their gate codes by memory. I knew, and it was over, 200 plus clients at the time, and I knew everything about them. I knew their kid's name off the top of my head. We had a CRM, but I didn't put that stuff in there. And
Right.
so as time developed, is I didn't get to actually see the experiences anymore, that like the memories that were being made, but the crews did, which is great for them. But that's why we did tidings of comfort and joy, which is our gift baskets and stuff like that. So, and I make a big deal. It's like, I want to deliver these. I want to go to the
Right.
customer's house. I want to see their face, and I want to get that and add to their experience even more. But for
Because that
me,
also
as a
that also brings fulfillment to you because you get to now be a part of that joy again since you're stepping
right,
out on a
yeah,
lot of the other jobs.
because I can't be at every job. So it's like, how can I be at the jobs? And how can I add to the
Hmm.
experience? And I was like, I need to show up as an owner and show my appreciation, because
Right.
when they choose us, they feed our family, which feeds my kids. Like, it's a relationship all the way around. It's a business relationship that helps my family. So it's a wonderful thing. Um,
100%.
but I'll move on to the next subject, which is setting family boundaries during peak season. I know you got some kids, I got boys, and it's really tough to juggle it all. I know our boys, they don't go to public school or anything like that. We built system and programs all around where they can be off during the holiday season, basically like pretty much late October and on. And so when we're like really grinding and stuff, so we don't have to really focus on their schooling. Does that make sense? And we
Oh,
actually build
100%.
a not a tradition. We don't live like a traditional educational life, but they're a grade ahead. Like we do constant testing and stuff like that. So, how do you set things up and set boundaries during the peak season, during the Christmas light season?
So we've been doing these things now, starting out called family meetings on Sundays, and so we're gonna actually incorporate this during this coming peak season. So one of the things that I learned last year, though, is as you're building up a business, you got to take calls, right? You got to answer texts, you got to get jobs, and that goes through the night. And then you lose out on quality time with your wife, you lose out on quality time with your kids, and building your business and building your customers becomes your life. And so some of the things that we've done is we've said, okay, from this time to this time, this is family time. We don't answer calls, we don't answer phones. Then there's a small gap when the kids go to bed, and then it's back to time with the spouse. I mean, because that also affirms her that says, hey, you know, I'm important. The kids are important. My husband's here. Yes, he's providing, which is great, but I still need to be present, at the time. And that also allows me to not miss things like if the kids have events or if the kids need time together, if we need to go on a walk, if we need to do stuff, that gives us healthy boundaries as a family to say, okay, our priorities are God, family, then work, and it took me a long time to learn that. I'm still working through that, but that's one of the things that has really struck to be important through this process.
Yeah, that's why I bring this topic up is because the same thing here, right? And I look at like one thing I really like micro analyze things and I try to understand things fully, especially as I get older, of truly what it means, not what I like a bias feeling. And one big thing is I find interruptions and what I mean by that is I'll be in a task, but then I'll try to be juggling too much and I'm not like get the task done and move on. I'm kind of doing like multitasking and I find that if you're more intentional with your task and it's like you almost have to be like, okay, I'm wiring up these controllers. I'm not going to answer my phone. There's not one thing like I'll put an AirPod in and I'll be working, right? And so I'll set it down, but if somebody calls me and say this person's calling, if or like if it's my wife or my kids or something like it's an emergency, I'll know about it. So I'm not saying like don't block out the world, do not disturb type thing because I have, responsibilities and stuff like that, but for
Right,
the most
right.
part most calls can wait. They really can. And a customer calls you wants a quote, it can
Hmm.
wait. It really can. And you think it can't, but uh, you can, we have a phone system and we set it up where all the calls get forwarded and I could say do not disturb on the call system. So when a business call comes in, it'll just route it to like Chelsea instead of me. So it's not like we're not answering our customers. Like I really set it up intentionally so I can just focus on this task and not be interrupted. Because if somebody texts me, I'll pull it out of my pocket and then I stop doing the controllers. Right. But I
Right.
need certain things. And so I find that, hey, I'm going to go and I'm going to go do this and I'm not going to stop till it's done. And then I'll move it on to my next thing. So I know a lot of people have ADHD and especially with Christmas lighting is multitasking is a big thing. If you can do it, if you work hard, can multitask, like you can do this. But I think the more that goes on and the bigger we get, the more I kind of digress a little bit and I get more to the basics of like, I'm just going to do a task and I'm going to knock it down and then I'm going to finish it. That's finishing it
Right.
even in Jobber when there's a task in Jobber, right? I go in there and I hit complete it because I'm
Yeah.
like, hey, we need to kind of be using Jobber, guys, and it's like, well, I'm not using it either. So to get it from start to finish is to be really intentional about it. And the same thing with the family thing is, I'm trying to compartmentalize and say, hey, we're going to watch a movie here. Like hey, my birthday is November 19th, by the way, which is the most horrible time to have a birthday for Christmas lighting. And I'm like,
Don't get me
and
started.
Chelsea always wants to like do stuff for my birthday, and I love her for that. And it's if you don't like mentally block things off and say, okay, I'm going to celebrate my birthday for the second half of this day. If you don't do that, don't say that, you won't do it. You'll be thinking about work. Oh, calls are coming in. This. You're just too distracted. So I think same thing like you said is through time is you start to learn yourself a little more and what really you need. Early 30s. I'm 36 right now, but like late 20s, early 30s, I didn't really understand that. And I think you said that, right? Like you said, I didn't know how to like really navigate that. And it seems so simple when we say it. Like me, I'm saying compartmentalize time and be intentional. And you're like, yeah, that's what I'm doing. But do you really, really do it is the thing. And
Hmm.
how do you do it? Because a lot of times what does that mean? You have to tell people no. They're like, hey, can you help me?
Yep.
No, I can't help you. No, not right now. I'm in the middle of something. Sorry. Once I open up, I'm more than happy to help you, but not right now. Right. So it's not being available all the time, but also not being a closed door. That's another hard one. Because when people are asking you of things, is you can't be like, hey, door is shut. You just have to be like, to me, I have to be like, hey, I can't do this right now. I can do it in an hour. Meet me in an hour. And then we come to an agreement that we have to be an hour. So it's those things where I would just pick up the phone and I would idolize that I'm missing something. You know what I mean? Because I feel
Hmm.
like that's what a lot of businesses is about is like you wake up in a day and it's your opportunity to really maybe close another bid. Or if you sit still, you're not going to do anything. So a lot of
Right.
times you get in that mentality like, oh, I don't have enough prep. I've really got to go in. I really got to prep all this stuff. And you start really pressuring yourself. That's why I started setting goals. Like you said, is you have your Sunday thing and you want to get it fired up this season. That is your goal is to be very intentional about it. And we're going to implement this new process, And so, do you have anything to elaborate on that? Sorry, I kind of took over there for a sec, but that's how
No, you're
it's
good.
something I'm going through too, So I'm glad that you're kind of trying to navigate it too.
100%.
Look at Rylan's always got a smile on him. 100%. I'm gonna make a T-shirt with your face that says 100% on it. Let's go to the next topic.
I would 100% buy that.
It's 100% cotton. Yeah. Lessons our kids are learning by watching us work. So you set these boundaries, but at the same time, they probably see you're stressed out. They probably see you're working a lot and everything. They probably see you're trying to make time for them. They probably see you're not making time for them at times. So what do you think are the lessons our kids are learning, or their experiences growing up through their childhood? Because I remember some things in my childhood, but I didn't have parents like myself at all. So sometimes, me and Chelsea, we talk about that. We talk about like what, the times is one thing, right? Like they're getting grown up around AI. Like you got coding in your family, like they're probably on top of all that, but it's like they're living in a world where you can find information quicker. You don't have to memorize everything as much. I mean, even your phone is doing math that just calculates the math and tells you the total. Like you don't even need to know math anymore. Like you should know these things. You need a foundation, but what's so crazy is with their education with them is that they I'm wondering what they actually need to know, because like you have access to almost everything everywhere until that goes down, right? Just like in firefighting, we use the thermal imaging camera. You don't want to rely on that. You want to still do your left-handed search pattern or whatever and use it as a tool. So AI is a tool, computers are a tool, systems are a tool. Once that all goes down, can you really build a building and cut wood and do all that? AI can't do that, right? Like you got to get back to the basics. But
Right.
it's just with the times is one thing, and then what they need to know is another thing. But the same thing is they have entrepreneur mom and dads, and so I didn't get raised up around that, so I try to find their viewpoint and what maybe they're trying to navigate and what they're learning. So what do you think about all that with your household and your family?
I think for me, we're big on like, hey, no phones, yet for the kids. My daughter's 11, my son's 2. I don't have to worry about the 2-year-old right now, but
yeah, he's probably got an iPad using AI in his room right now.
hey, look, unless he's Stewie from Family Guy and he's got a mind that I don't know about, that dude ain't doing nothing.
Is his head football shaped?
No,
Then you ain't got nothing to worry
it's
about.
it's more basketball shape. We're good. But no, I think one of the things for me, I'm not huge into AI. I mean, I don't know a lot about it, but one of the things that AI cannot teach is relationships. And one of the
Yeah.
things that these kids can learn from us and can pick up from us is, okay, how do we talk to our customers? How do we respond when something goes wrong? How do we respond when a customer is treating us poorly, right? So they're getting to see how we interact. That we can
Oh, you cut out for a sec. You
have
there?
quality time, but it doesn't teach relationships, and it doesn't.
You're lagging just a little bit. I do hear you on the relationship thing. As you come back, I'll just interrupt you for a sec. But the relationship thing it's 100% true. It's it's I say with the kids is a problem solving. I think that's the biggest thing is you'll have adversity and you'll have problems, and how do you overcome those things? It's problem solving. So it's how to ease it when there's a speed bump or a little bump in the road is, you know, can you navigate it? Can you make it seem like there's no speed bump in the road? So I think problem solving is a big one for kids. I think that's one of the biggest things, even in business, is oh, this happened. People come to me with problems. They don't come to me like with super amazing things. It's a lot of like, hey, this is a problem. This needs to get fixed, or what do you want to do here? Right? It's my problem solving skills are really really high, and then my multitasking is big. I can do a lot of things at one time. So if you can problem solve and you can multitask and be efficient with it, then those are great qualities to have. Because if you're talking to a customer and they have a complaint, how do you respond to that? And it's even the words, It's psychology, right? It's thinking on your feet. AI, it'll be a delay, right? You have to interpret it and then say it to the customer. You can get AI to say it to the customer, but it's still not that human touch. It's still not, you see me in person giving you that basket and everything. And there's a real human face to it. There's a real body to it. And so I think with problem solving and multitasking, that's going to be the big thing for kids. And I think even right now for adults, I think if you've got those qualities, you are an exceptional stand. You can do most things. You can create a business with risk and everything else. You can, be it management and admin. You can do, if you need those skills to do that. You can't be those without those skills, and you have to do
Right.
it really, really well. And so, I think that's what we're trying to instill in our boys, and the lessons learned there. They see their parents multitasking and juggling. They see their parents problem solving. We always have an answer. That's what we tell the boys. It's like they always come to us and ask us a million questions. And you're like, man, you kind of hit me. It's like, and some of them are kids questions, like, hey, like, what is the third highest mountain in the world? And I'm like, I don't know.
I don't know.
Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just random stuff. You know what I mean? Did you know there's a blue bee? Did you know that? And I'm like, yeah, I do now. You know what I mean?
No.
But it's I think that's what we're trying to focus on, and that's what the lessons that I think they're learning is how to, like, we're navigating the entrepreneurship thing. It's new to us, but at the same time, our real world of like taxes, like we know taxes a lot more than other parents, right? We know how to keep a budget, right? Our bottom line, profit and loss, right? P&L sheet, even for your household. When you run a bigger business, it makes a household seem so small, like as to do a budget, because you're managing many different categories in a household. There may be like 20, 30 different categories. In a business, there may be like 100 different categories of transaction expenses, and how to keep that up, projected revenue, not on a fixed income, all those things. So I think that's what we're trying to instill in our boys, and the lessons that they're learning there, I think, are ones I didn't learn at that young of an age. I think they'll be more equipped and prepared at 18 than I was, because we're doing the entrepreneurship route. Does that make sense?
Right. 100%.
Gosh dang it. 100%.
You walked right into that one, sir.
Somebody's going to comment 100. They're going to comment 100 down below, like the, what is it called? The emoji, the 100 emoji.
Hey, that should be our goal, to get 100% comments. That would be fantastic.
All of a sudden, we get to 99 and then end it. Sorry, guys. We should do a giveaway if that happened or something.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
100 C9 bulbs or something. I don't know.
Oh, that'd be good.
Well,
assuming we get the order right, correct? I mean, assuming we get the order right.
I don't know. They may get 99. Who knows? No, they'll get 100 for sure. We got barcode skating and everything else now. It's you came during a different time.
Got you.
This we're new and improved. It's Murphy Christmas lighting, lights at wholesale 2.0. Okay. We're new. This is lessons learned from a busy holiday season. So with every year, for sure, I learn something. I learned something about myself, my business. Maybe I try to go after something and it doesn't go as planned. And I'm like, I would definitely redo this, right? This is where we pass this generational wealth, right? So like, that's what we were talking about earlier with lessons learned. Our kids, we're kind of passing down generational wealth, like my knowledge. You know what I mean? Sure. That's why I they don't want to hear it right now because they're 11 and 12. They don't care. They're saying like, the mountains and the blue bee stuff, you know what I mean? They don't care about like P&L sheets, but there will be a point where they will start caring about it, you know what I mean? But it's not like they're not listening, so a lot of times I want to pass this information down that I have in my head to my boys. That's one thing I think as a parent is you do want to like them to almost like the good parts of knowledge you have is to like get it into their brain and make them absorb it and truly like hone it. And so I think every year when I learn that stuff, I try in a certain way to transition that into lessons for our kids. So like I'll even come up with different analogies. Like I may, instead of saying a bow, I may say something that they like, you know what I mean? And kind of use it in a different story. So do you have anything like that from the holiday season in all years, but especially last year? Because I feel like the most recent ones are the most impactful.
Right. So last year, let's start 2 years ago, then I'll jump back into last year. So 2 years ago, I hit my breaking point, right? I do a lot of this, almost all of this myself. I love doing it. I love being out there. But I hit my max. And of course, we had a newborn, which, let's do that. Let's hit your max on your limits with a newborn, because that makes sense,
Yeah, that's tough.
And so last year, my biggest thing was getting a helper. And I know that may sound strange after 8 or 9 years, but getting a helper, I like doing everything myself, because I know that when I do it, it's going to get done the way I want it done. And so last year, what I learned is, hey, just take a little time to invest in somebody, show them how I want it done. They will help. And jobs went smoother. I wasn't as tired. And, I got to come home in a better mood and better energy with my kids. And, people noticed a difference. They're like, hey, you're in a great mood. I'm like, yeah, I'm in a great mood. I, had some help. It was great. And the kid did a great job. And unfortunately, he's going off to the army now, which I mean, that's fantastic. I mean, he's got a great career ahead of him. He's going to do awesome things in life. Um, but it's tough losing the good helper. But I think just continuing that mindset of giving a little bit of trust away to somebody, like, hey, it's gonna be okay. Like, stop trying to control everything and just delegate. Learn to delegate just a little bit. That was one of my biggest learning lessons, I think, that I could remember from last year. As far as the kids go, I mean, I don't know. I don't know. Well, I'll have to ask. I mean, I need to ask them questions like, hey, what did you learn? I know I give them this survey, right? And I give my wife the same thing. Like, hey, how was my mood this month? How was our quality time this month? How loved did you feel by me this month? They get to rate me 1 through 10 on each question. And that's something I started doing because I wanted to know, what does my family really think about me? What are areas that I can improve on? And so these are great lessons that I'm learning about myself, and then great lessons that I'm getting feedback from the people closest to me to know how I can get better moving forward. So that's probably the best thing I would say on that.
That's really good. I do know I did learn as well about um, you know th- your perception of what the experience is, right? Like the camera viewpoint of your POV of yourself, the point of view of
Hmm.
yourself versus the point of view of themselves looking at you, right? And
Right.
it's not always the same thing, right? And maybe you said something but it was taken a different way, and so it's about how they feel and what they say. So like when you say 1 through 10, that's their 1 through 10. You can't have an opinion about it because that's
Right.
their 1 through 10. That's their feelings. So when they say a 5, you're like, damn, okay. Well, how do I get that
It
to a 10?
hurts.
It hurts, but
Yeah.
it's also like it's very good to know that you're not at a 10, right? And it's good to know that, like, hey, how do I get this to from a 5 to a 10? How do we do that? And it's not like, oh, but I did this, I do this, and you defend yourself. I'm learning that's not what you do. You actually like take it. They mean it as a 5 for a reason. Okay, why is it a 5? And how can I be better? And then they tell you how you can be
Right.
better. It may not be what you agree with, but that's not what it's about. It's about them. It's about getting their perception up to a 10. And then your viewpoint is like, I thought we were at a 7. And it's like, it's that misalignment and that honesty, that clear communication like you guys are having of that rating system is like, be honest. They can't just write down a 7 and hoping 8, 9, 10 and hoping things are going to improve, right? Like this is so we can improve, like be honest about it. But
Yep.
when you try so hard and work so hard from your point of view, and then to see that is like, man, I missed the mark there. But I love that you
Mm.
guys have a system to be able to keep each other accountable and to have clear communication. That's really respectful. I do like that you do that a lot. So, but tell me about these guys right here. I did meet that military guy, I think, at an open house or something when you guys came. But tell me about these guys.
No, you met him when I came to pick up a couple wreaths
Oh, okay.
from
Oh,
your
the
from your
Reese. Let's
shop. Yeah,
let's
he was
let's
good.
show the Reese real quick. Okay, let me see if I
Oh,
can
there
get
it
this.
is.
There it
Oh,
is.
I love
So
that one.
I think I screenshot this like in the season, but oh yeah, it says 2 hours ago. Like I saw it and then I screenshot it. But it was Rylan buys wreaths from us and he loves custom wreaths. So our girl Gracie, who's our logistical coordinator, she's got to make sure all that stuff is right and ready to go. And Rylan's like, hey, can I get 4 60-inch wreaths, pure white with red bow? And I'm like, hey Gracie, you got 4 more? And she's like, because we have to. A lot of times they're like custom made. You know what I mean? That you're ordering. But Rylan is one that really loves to do that, and he's probably our number one custom wreath person. And so, tell us a little bit about this, about the wreaths here, and how they worked out for you because you kept coming in. You did not pre-order these; they were coming and they were selling like hotcakes. So tell us about it.
I, it,
You're frozen and you're gone. Well, there's the Reese. Rylan, there he is. You there? cut in and out.
customer a picture of these wreaths, and they'd be like, "Oh, it's great material. It's professional grade." I said, "It's not going anywhere." I said, "This is gonna, you can have this forever." And so this house was one out in Rome, I think, and they got, I think, two of them, big old 60-inch. And that one was tough because that one, it was super windy out there, and it took two of us. So we're on a 28-foot ladder at the top, and one guy's on the top of the roof, so we're trying to hold it, and obviously, Mom, if you're listening to this, I'm sorry, but I'm on the very top, dangling. I'm drilling into the brick and trying to get the anchors in there, and And but when that lady came home, when that husband and wife came home, and that whole house was lit all the way around, they had those two wreaths. Oh man, they loved it. They loved it. And so eventually, our next customer, hey, how much for this wreath? Hey, how much for this wreath? Hey, I like this photo with the wreath. Can we do the wreath? I'm like, yeah, sure. And you know what? Speaking of survey, I want to go into your shop one day, and I want to give Gracie a survey because every time I walk in there, she sees me, she goes, "Oh, great." So I want to know what she truly thinks. But she does a great job. Like these wreaths, every time I haven't had any complaints about these wreaths. They come out solid. Customers love them, and that's why I keep coming back. I mean, if a customer
Yeah.
is praising a product, then you keep giving them that same product, and so
Well,
it
I mean,
has.
it probably helped your bottom line too, right? Like, I mean, I know adding a 60-inch wreath, it's not cheap, right? So you're
Oh
charging a
no,
certain
no.
amount per foot, and like this one's 60, and you're up there. You got to get at least a 28-foot ladder on that and then
Hmm.
that's probably not even enough. But it's heavy. These wreaths are pretty heavy. The 5-foot ones that we carry, they're bolted together, and they got like a steel frame, so they're
Yep, that's the
not
one.
super lightweight. They're not, but they are
That's the
very
one.
tough. And the bow is a 6-year rated bow. Like this is like creme de la creme, of
They are
wreaths.
nice. They are
Yeah.
nice.
So adding those
Speaking
wreaths,
of, I need to
yeah.
get one more from you from my house now. My wife loves them,
well,
kids love them. I gotta get another one.
well, like doing like one or two a day for somebody is like not a big deal. When you ask somebody for like 8 or something in one go, they're kind of like, ugh. It's like, I guess for the next day or two, I'm going to be prepping wreaths. It's
I
like,
told her not to, and I told her to quit doing such a good job, and she wouldn't have so much work to do. I mean,
she can't do it either. You know what I mean? She's got to do a good job and she's got to complain about it.
That's
So,
right. That's right. But we love
no,
Gracie. She's awesome.
yeah, no, it's a tough job for sure. And she does a good job. So I love that you support us with the wreaths. I love that your customers are seeing that and we're just improving this area a little bit. But let's go back to these guys. So tell me about these guys. And I do have a picture. Here's this project during the night. But tell us about this guy and about this church and maybe how
Oh
you came about
yeah,
this job.
that was. So I grew up going to, it's called 121 Church. Their first building was in a shopping center off of Hall Johnson and Grapevine, right? So we started going, I was really young. And the pastor of that church named Pastor Ross, he mentored me and absolute just awesome mentor. And of course, at the age, I didn't really take a lot of his advice because I knew more than he did, right? That's what
Right.
teenagers do. We know more than adults. And so kind of on and off there. Then they moved to a different building by main event. So we kind of stayed in touch a little bit there. Then they moved to this big building in Grapevine off 26. Um, but that was around the time me and my wife got married. So we decided to look for our own church. But we kind of maintain relationships with these people. And they're like, hey, we want some lights on the building. I'm like, hey, sure, no problem. So they ended up going all the way around this building. And if you look at this top middle section and this top right section, those are just straight overhangs to the parking
Yeah.
lot.
Yeah.
There's no,
Parapet
you
wall
know,
or anything.
oh yeah, there's
Yeah.
nothing. I mean, at
I
least
mean,
those are at least 80 feet in the air, at least. So
yeah,
this
it's
guy on
pretty
the
cool.
right here is our roofing crew leader, and
Okay.
dude's named Francisco. He's incredible. He's awesome. He does all of our jobs. He helps us with
Sure.
lights. He does a phenomenal job. We kind of asked him to help those sections that were overhanging the park, for our safety. He's just got more experience, So we we
How did the other guys get experience if the main experienced guy always does it?
well, because you watch what the experienced guy does, right? And then you say, "Oh, I can do that," and so then you just learn the techniques, and
Yeah.
it just goes that way.
So is
Uh,
on-site training is what you did?
On-site training. That's what we
Yeah,
do. We do on-site training.
that's
So
right.
if you fail, then we just hope you pass, on the job.
Yeah.
That's
It's a
but
thumbs up, thumbs down on site
it's
training.
it's
Yeah.
exactly. So, but it ended up looking really cool. I should have had photos of the finished product, but man, it was over.
Yeah, I mean,
Man, it
did you
was
do the
over.
stuff? It looks like stuff's on the inside too, or did they just decorate that
No,
stuff?
they
You just
they
did
did
outside.
they did stuff on the inside. Yeah, they took
Yeah,
care of all the stuff on the inside. I think next year we've done there for a few years. They added trees, but the way that they wanted the trees, it just didn't really pop really well. So we're like, all right,
yeah,
maybe we can either readdress that, or I think they're wanting the light post done. So I mean, we're just gonna keep trying to add and however much they want to do. But that building is by far my favorite. I absolutely love it. The guy on the left is actually my roofing boss. So me
oh
and him have
yeah,
become really good friends. His name's Jimmy. We went through that permanent lighting training with you.
yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
he's
I
an
met him,
absolute awesome guy. Great
but
integrity.
he lives a little further out, doesn't he?
Yeah, he lives all the way out in Brock, so out west of
Yeah,
Weatherford. So he's
yeah.
got the country land out there and some acreage, and which that's awesome, dude. I'm
Yeah.
convenience. I gotta have a
Live.
Chick-fil-A within 5 miles of my house. So
Hey, Weatherford's got a Chick-fil-A, you know?
yeah, well that's a little different, but he's 20 minutes outside of Weatherford, so I that's
Yeah,
too far. That's too far.
yeah. That's like
But
going into town. You know, that's like
oh
country
yeah.
country folk talk. You know.
Oh yeah, but he's a great guy. So Jimmy and Francisco, our roof crew leader, those guys, man, I love and trust anything business related. So
That's
those are
good.
my go-to guys.
Yeah. Yeah, you kind of brought up about that hiring somebody last year and trying to delegate more. And I want to elaborate a little bit on that because that is one of the hardest things to do is because when you're a problem solver, serial entrepreneur, and multitasker, all that stuff is not everybody has those same qualities. And that's why you're the boss is kind of maybe you're taking risks, you're doing things, but most of the time you're management, you're admin, you're boss, maybe the right hand man or whatever it is, but you have those qualities. And to me is I can't find anybody that's like me. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Especially in this type of industry, there's no school for Christmas lighting. So you go to these trainings, by the way, big announcement. We're going to have a 3-day training in July, by the way. It's not officially official. We're hoping to make it official in the next 2 days, but 3-day training here up in the DFW, and it has to do just with residential, commercial Christmas lights and marketing, and a certain significant somebody is going to be there helping teaching, and it's going to be a big deal. So,
Hey, look,
um,
I will do whatever you need me to do, but I can attest to this, guys. The training comes with dad jokes. It comes with lots of laughter. Joey brings the fire. He's got the knowledge. But if you're not having a good time, don't show up. I mean,
yeah,
because you got to be there to
yeah,
have a good time, learn some
that's right.
things.
Well,
Yeah,
if you're
so
not having a good time, Chelsea's just going to roast you. She'll point you out. She can sniff that a mile away. She's
that's
like, "What?"
that's true.
She's like, "What you need? You need a coffee or something? What's wrong with you?" You know, it's like smile. It's all right. It's life. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah, yeah.
but it is hard to hire those type of people to kind of. I look at entrepreneur in a business as you're supposed to replicate yourself. Like mitosis, right? It's splitting of the cell is like become another. But the thing
Mhm.
is nobody will ever do what you do, ever.
Right.
And that's what's hard to accept is like people will do, I call it like a percentage of what I do. So like I tell people like a 90-10 or 80-20. So with Christmas lighting is like you don't have to do and be as knowledgeable as me. And you could be about 80% of what I do, and the customer won't even know that there's a problem. Right.
Right.
But if you hire somebody that's like 60 or something, they're going to mess up, and then you'll have maintenances and there'll be interruption in service. So it's kind of understanding who you're hiring and finding good people. And really, people say like developing your people. But once you find somebody that really can do it, not that you think can do it, but can really like they're really progressing on their own. They want it. Because you could say, hey, show
Hmm.
up to work, do this. But if they're not in it, if they're not passionate about it, then like right now, the warehouse is hot. It's hot, man. We're going to receive another 28 pallets this Friday from a location. And it's like, it's hot. I want to get there. And I tell the driver, show up at 7. I want to be
Uh-huh.
in and I want to be out by 2:00. I do not want to be in that warehouse. It's hot. And to get AC up in there, I mean, it's a lot of square feet. That bill is going
Yeah,
to be
that's a
really big.
lot.
We're a seasonal business. So you're just going to have to tough it out. You know what I mean? So, but finding somebody that you can delegate to like that, I'll be out of town, and our people, they know how to operate this stuff. They know how we like it, everything else. And, he'll get it off the truck and he'll get it moving. So, but is he going to do it as fast as me? No. Does he need to? No. So it's finding, as you develop, is you're supposed to delegate. You're supposed to replicate yourself. There's supposed to be, hire 3 people to overtake what you can take, and train each person in of what they want to do. Like, somebody wants to stage the product, somebody wants to install the product, somebody wants to bid the projects, and everybody likes what they do. Then you kind of have a team going forward, and then company culture, all that kind of stuff comes into it. It's very hard. Business is very hard, especially for me. I mean, anybody who says it's easy, I kind of want to talk to you. Like, I want to be like,
Right.
what are you doing? What sugar and spice is real nice, because I don't have that recipe.
Or what are you hiding? Yeah, what are you not telling us?
Yeah, they're like, that's the secret, and you got to come to my training to get all of it. I'll pay for it. I'll get it. I'll pay for it. But what is it? And
That's the secret. No marriage, no kids. I'm single. Yeah. There's the secret.
Yeah, there's the secret. No. Well, I find that, honestly, me and Chelsea had a conversation about this too. Was about, do you think the business would be as big, or these things? Would you make decisions if you didn't have kids? And the answer is, I would not be working this hard if I didn't have kids. Right. So I think it also pushes you, because it's not just you in it anymore. Right. So if you have the same feeling as, like, maybe the hot blue flame, that fire inside of you to do business, and you're all alone and you don't have a wife and kids and all that, that's great. But I got to tell you is that with having a family, is I even put harder in business a little bit. So I can, like, select baseball is kind of expensive,
Oh, just a tad.
Private school is kind of expensive. You know what I mean?
Just a tad.
So I want to give them the best, life and everything else. So a lot of times that takes me working pretty hard to make it all happen. But at the same time, juggling it to where you're not working all the time to pay for things and you're not there. Right. So there's a balance to it. And getting people, like, I'm going to Louisiana this week, and Jonathan will be using the forklift and offloading the truck. So there's no interruption in the business, because everybody understands where everybody needs to be, and everybody's mindful of each other. And so I kind of like having that team where everybody's really considering each other, and if everybody's okay. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's why I like when people don't do that in your organization and they don't care, they're very selfish. It's like, that's a horrible quality. And I don't know, you can't really train people out of that. I feel like, but that's me. So, well, let's go into, yeah. Well, the thing is people will just show up to work, right? They just show up and they're like, I need a paycheck, and what do I need to do today? And some people, when they first start out, they're like kind of hyper and they're ready to go. And then once they do it, they're like, eh. And I'm like, come on, man. I love this job. You're not going to make this job not fun.
It's not the fit for you then. Yeah.
Yeah. If I'm enjoying myself, I want other people to not bring me down, so, like, if you're not having a good time,
right,
and I'm having a great time, like, let's all have a good time. Let's try to have a good time. So
that's right.
It's a very stressful business is all I'm saying. So a lot of times is people can get their feelings a little bit. And sometimes you're like, hey, do you want to take lunch early? And they're like, yes, please. And I'm like, yeah, go. Yeah. They come back and they're just, ho, ho, ho. Like their belly's full and everything else. And yeah, they're refreshed. Good. But ask for it. Like, ask for it. Be like, yes, I'm not being efficient right now. Right. And then they're like, oh, I was just going to hold out till everyone went. Don't do that. Just take care of yourself. And you can, if you don't take care of yourself, you can't take care of anybody else. Right. If you're starving and you're hungry, you start getting hangry. That doesn't help anybody. You know what I mean? Go get a Chick-fil-A sandwich or something.
Well, it's a man.
Oh, you froze. I was going to say, go get a Snickers too. Like those commercials. I don't know if they're playing those anymore, but for a while they were. You there, Rylan?
Yeah, I'm having some service issues in the office.
Yeah, technical issues. Well, the next topic, because I can hear you, I can't see you, is off-season strategy. What do you do when the lights go out? So for us, the off-season is all about preparation. It's all about getting all our ducks in a row, engaging with different properties, seeing what they need, and getting all that out the way. So that way, all of our past customers are taken care of. Christmas in July is a big thing for us, which is coming up. We're working our butts off in June to get everything done. And it's that off-season strategy that really sets us up for success in the season. And every year it changes. I call it like a restructure kind of. It's like we restructure our business to become better, more powerful, faster. the lessons learned along the way is now we implement those from last year, and then there's no more hiccups. There's less hiccups. It's a smoother season. And so I know last year was by far like one of our best seasons yet, the most creative, the most just day in, day out grind and smoothness. It was very smooth. So what off-season strategies are you doing to prepare for the upcoming season? You there, Rylan? You muted or something? No, you're not muted. Rylan, where you at, bro? I can't hear you. Can't hear you. No, can't hear you. Well, one thing we're doing also is making a bunch of content. So if you're not part of the lightsetwholesale.com Facebook group, it should be in the description down below. But definitely join that. I am dropping in a bunch of videos. It's also on my personal Facebook page, but we are dropping a lot of videos. I think I've already got like 8 released or something like that, but we've already got over double that. That's staged, and we're developing more. We're going to do 2 this afternoon and about 6 tomorrow. So if you guys aren't part of that, it's really good stuff that I'm putting together. lightsetwholesale.com Facebook group. It's the group page, which should be in the description. Rylan, you there? Rylan's not there. So one of those things is prepping. If you guys have not pre-ordered, you've got to pre-order me. I cannot stress this enough. Is just like all the work when we get all of our customers in all on the books is like, hey, here's your deposit. You send all your quotes out, get everybody taken care of. Hey, I want a color change. I got all of that. Well, with that is you also with your new customers that you're going to be doing, you know you're going to do a certain amount of feet. You know you're going to do warm white. Is to prep it, by 5,000. You can move 5. It's not hard to move 5,000. I remember, I think it was like our 5th year. We were moving over 4,000 feet a day of new installs every day. So imagine being behind on prep work. And how long does it take to prep 1,000 feet? We do 750 clipped, 250 non-clipped. I'm coming out with a video on that as well about how we do it. I did that since the beginning, and we haven't really changed it. I'm looking to change it up a little bit this year and trying something new, but I don't want to release it until I do my scientific, study on it, and see if what the big difference on it, if it's a big change. But pre-ordering and prepping is a big, big, big thing. So, Rylan, you there? Sounds like you're texting, man. I may have to mute you. So it's not just that, but it's mini lights. If you book projects, the main stuff: clips, socket line, plugs, bulbs. The commercial elite bulb is 5-year warranty, which is the best warranty in the industry. We carry that, and we carry Minleon. So we actually have 13 different kinds of whites, believe it or not, and I have a video coming out about that as well. And then we also have different colors. So 2 different kinds of greens with the Minleon and the commercial elite. Both of them are a little different. The Minleon's a little more limeish, I would say. But it's just getting everything ready right now. I'm trying to get ready actually to put on a wedding. And with that is we have splashers, like spotlights kind of that are going to line these 3 tents on top of other things, but getting all those, it's going to be a lavender kind of purplish theme of a wedding, flowery purple kind of thing. And so getting all those controllers and everything set up so you can get in and out really quick. That's what we're doing. But when it's 95 degrees outside, that warehouse gets real hot. So getting all of it prepared, getting everything prepared. You there, Rylan? The people want to hear about Rylan, and Rylan's not here. Rylan, you there? You go off of Wi-Fi? I may have to text you, dude. I will try to pull up. Let's pull up one of those videos so I can just show while Rylan tries to come back on. Let's see. No. Let's go to Facebook. Let me share my screen. You there, Rylan? Oh, I don't want to share the whole screen because that would not be good. You there, Rylan? Rylan. All right, let's do. Oops. I'm sorry, everybody who's watching, if the lag and everything else. Let's go to YouTube. If anybody has any questions, you can comment right now. I'll answer anything you guys need. All right, now there's this one. Now let's share it. You there, Rylan? Because I can see you, bro. You there? All right. We're going to show some of our videos. Rylan, I'm going to take you out for a sec. All right. Now let's add to the stage. All right, here's some videos that I'm coming out with. This was the first one we launched. It's got a lot of actually views on it and comments and feedback. So I do appreciate everybody that's kind of commenting. But this is a little bit about what we've been doing. It's actually 20 volt, 24 volt is so much with LEDs and permanent lighting, landscape lighting that I didn't even really think about it. As you can see, we go over so many different things. So if anybody's really getting started up in the Christmas light season, really want to kind of understand and know about Christmas lights, how to do it, some good practices that we do within the company, definitely, subscribe to our YouTube channel. All the lives are on Spotify as well as Facebook, and then Facebook and YouTube are the videos. So do that, follow all of that, and then please follow the Lights at Wholesale Facebook group. That's by far where all the content's getting posted. It's like a funnel for everything. And it's not just me on there. There's Jake, who's doing a lot of shorts and reels and stuff like that. He's very good at it. And then I'm doing more long content beyond it. And then there's more coming on top of even that. The training, other stuff, we're just going to launch it out, especially getting ready for this Christmas in July thing. So big, big, big deal. I think we may have lost Rylan altogether, but we can keep it going. So using a business as a mission field, this is one question I had for Rylan. With it is, to me, is, using this to feed other people's families as well. That's one big thing I have in life. I think it's one of the most powerful things you can do is to feed other families. And you can do that with business. So even if somebody wants to come work for you, you are feeding their family. They need to make a living. They need work. And by you creating an environment that is fun, festive, they don't mind doing, it's good compensation and pay. They earn their keep. They feel, as a unit with everybody else. It's a big, big deal to me to know that that's our mission, is that I'm trying to feed other people's family, create other memories. I think it's the most powerful thing you could do in this world. If I had a lot of money, I'd probably be like a philanthropist or something in that sense, because we're only here for so long, and I think you need to make the world a better place as much as humanly possible. So Rylan, I think it's back in. Rylan, you there?
Oh, technology, sir.
Did AI take over your phone or something? What's going on?
Hey, look, it heard me and it said, hey, watch this. And I'm over here scatterbrain trying to figure it out, and it's just over there laughing at me. We were talking about it, now it came back at us. See what happened?
Alexa's crap talking you right now?
No, we unplugged that from our house.
My Alexa just said something to me.
Calm down, Alexa. Did she say that's what you get for talking about me? That's what you get.
Yeah. She's like, stop talking to Rylan. You are taking too long. You are beyond your limit. No. Anyways,
We're back. We're back.
I was telling everybody about using business as a mission field, kind of just feeding other families and helping create an environment to really, especially the holiday season. A lot of times people are spending a lot more money and they're not making any more money. So a lot of times that's when they want a side hustle or something like that. We do hire people that want side hustles. Like we need lights prepped. You can just come in, come out. You're not here for a long time, but you're here for a good time, right? And you just prep us some product. And there are some people that work like a week. They're like, I got a week. I just want to work every day and I have time off from my job and I want to make some extra money. And I'm like, cool, sounds good to me. So if you're interested in anything like that, definitely apply. murphychristmaslight.com/careers. It's on the menu bar. Apply for it. We hire all the time. We're hiring right now. I'm actually thinking about hiring a big position, like big one, like that would pay quite a bit. Trying to find the right people though, right? So I think to get the right person for this, they need some money because I'm going to ask a lot of them. But if you have the skill set, it's really not that bad. It's if you don't have the skill set, it could be too overwhelming. That's why we got to find the right person for it. But I'm open to it. So if anybody's wanting something like that in this area, just apply on the website. But I'll stop talking. You're back on here.
Hey, look. First of all, I would definitely apply for that job. But here's what I know. If I got that job, we wouldn't get anything done.
No,
because we'd be hanging out having to. Yeah. We would. Yeah, no, we would just be talking the whole time. We wouldn't look at orders. We wouldn't do anything. But that's neither here nor there. To me, using business as a mission field, right? So this is a little bit different of a perspective on my end. So obviously, agape and what that means. But for those who don't, if you've ever heard the verse, "For God so loved the world that He gave His only Son, that whoever believes in Him shall not perish but have eternal life." If you go back to the Greek. And I learned this from the pastor at the church that we did the lights. He said, "For God so agape the world." It's the Greek form. And ever since he said that, I said, wow. I said, that name just stuck like this. So it's funny too, because people will mispronounce it. They'll say agape or agape. And I'm like, no, it's agape. So this gets to be a mission field for me to spread the name of Jesus to my customers. On top of that, this gets to be in a position to where, because lighting is such a great revenue stream, hey, we get to bless this person with lights. Hey, we get to bless this person with lights. This person had a hard year. They lost their husband. Guess what? They're getting lights on their house for free. It's a way to bless, and it's a way to bring your mission, because your mission in life is not just to work, right? You have a plan, a purpose. Your mission is to love and to serve. Right. And so that's one of the best things about using your business, whatever you're in, as your mission field.
I love that, dude. Like that. When I saw because I actually would read a lot of like philosophy books when I was like 18 through 24. I loved philosophy at that time. And they talk about unconditional love, all the different types of love. And then even through time, the different meanings of love with English words, or maybe it has a Greek translation or something, because Americans don't have a lot of words for meanings, right? Like, how are you? Fine. And then you go to like Jamaica and they're like, how are you? And they're like, Irie. And I'm like, what is that? And they're like it means like I don't want to mess it up, but it's more of like a calmness, like I'm at peace type thing, right? And it's like so
shalom.
They say, right. So it's like they say it in a way of like, I'm not fine, but like I am at peace. I am very pleasant. I am very nice. And most people is like, hey, how are you doing? And they're like, fine. And they don't want to tell you like how they really feel. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not at peace. How are you? And you're like, I'm not at peace. And it's like,
that's
what if there was a word
conversation
for that? And you're like, whoa, man, don't dump on me, man. And it's like, I'm just uneasy, man. And instead people are like, I'm fine. And it's like, so I love that. There's in Louisiana, there was a hospice company named that actually, but there's a lot of health. I was in the healthcare field in Louisiana too. And
cool.
Transitioning and that they were a big part in trying to help people. And so we'd pick them up in the ambulance and they'd be on hospice and that company would be helping them through those processes. And so that name actually stuck with me, when I read it, the meaning behind it. And then I saw other businesses with the name. I'm like, it's a beautiful name. So I love that you're very intentional about your business name and the meaning, your guys' mission statement behind it. You weren't just like throwing it up there to just be a name and whatever. You actually had purpose and meaning behind it. So I love that you started that way, for sure. Yeah, man. So is there anything new and exciting that you're trying to do for this year in your business or no? Any new
Well,
changes or like big things like, hey man, this year I want to do this.
so I think for me, one of my main things I want to do is obviously scaling the roofing side. Me and you have had this conversation before. I would like to jump out. I'm really praying about jumping out on my own for going opening my own roofing company, which I think would be an awesome thing to do. I think that's one of my biggest challenges for this year. But as far as lighting goes, I'm more wanting to attack the commercial side. I love doing residentials; they're fantastic. But I think challenging myself more because if you do residentials for so long, it is what it is. It's pretty cut and dry. But doing more commercial stuff, more challenging stuff, more stuff that I say, hey, okay, this is a big project. Let's figure out how to tackle this. Let's do this. Let's do this. Um, and just kind of experimenting on that side would probably be my biggest challenge for this year on that side of things.
Yeah, because I think with the commercial side, you actually have to be really intentional. You have to hunt it, right? Like
Hmm.
you've got to be like it tower trees or these things, they're just not going to fall in your lap. You know
No,
what I mean? Like you kind of have to do the things to for them to even be presented in a way, and then you got to present it. And it's a lot more work. So that would be a adding into the commercial space and especially dabbing in that. It's a whole different kind of world. We're like not. I think it's 85. I keep saying 90, but I ran the numbers the other day, and I think it's 85% commercial now. But like
oh
two
sweet,
2 or 3 years ago, I know we were 50-50. And so we've like slowly been migrating and bleeding down. But it's not that we haven't lost customers. We've actually gained customers on each side. So it's just the commercial side. It's spreading faster and further
it's
than the
growing.
residential, right? So like 2 years ago, I didn't have this in residential. We have more in residential, but we have this much more in commercial. So it just seems like, well, 50-50 of what? And then it's 85-15 of what? It's a much bigger pot. And so
Right.
it's scaling on both sides, but we do we can be more creative in the commercial space, and I think that's a big part of our stuff. Is what makes us super special is that we design. I do view us as a little more designers and stuff, and I think
Hmm.
that gets you into the commercial space a little bit more if you could be a little more creative, because you also have to understand the different type of products out there and what you can do with them, right? Like a lot of guys don't even know about Twinkly Pro. We've been using it since 2019, and we still use it. I'm using it at the wedding, and we got the DJ, and we got the music dongle in there, and all the lights are bumping to it and everything. And people are like, "Holy, what is this?" And it's like seems like a $20,000 setup, and I'm like, "Well, no, like I would charge you $20,000, but it's more
But
of this
not
much in
this.
supplies, the knowledge, and it's like, but I
Right,
don't have a
right.
hard time with it. I find it pretty easy. It extends our season. It's awesome. It adds value to the client. You can get in and out. It is plug and play. It truly is. It's not like a bunch of configuration stuff. So I think if getting in the commercial space is you have to understand products even more. You need to
Hmm.
understand how to apply them, how to make the customer happy and achieve their effect that they want. I think it's a big deal because also there's low end commercial and high end residential, right? So
Right,
like
and
you
that's
may be
true.
doing your biggest project and you're like, oh, I got into commercial, but then it's like yeah, but it was like, 6 monuments and an HOA or something like that, and you just did
Right.
recency nights. And you're like, "Yeah, it was good. You didn't have to get up super high, but, like, you really didn't move up." And it's like, because I did this stuff already just on a different property, but you're labeling it commercial because it's a commercial account. There's a
Hmm.
difference,
That is
right?
true.
So we view some of our bigger residentials as like a commercial account, right? Because it's like we're going to be here all day. It's going to take us. If you're at a site all day, it's a big enough. Unless
That's
it's
a
like
big job.
unless it's just one guy. But if you got like a crew and a couple like 4, 5, 6 people at a property all day, yeah, that's a big job. Whether you call it residential, commercial, it's a big thing. So, do,
100%.
do you have more of medium projects and it's all about the same, or is it like no, we got some lows, we got some high ones, we got some all over the place? How is
I've
yours
got,
looking?
I think it's starting to grow a little bit on the high ones. I did um, one last year in a neighborhood called Montserrat over here in Fort Worth. It's like the Westlake houses, and I mean this guy's awesome. I mean, but it goes back to not everybody's gonna be joyful, right? Because as soon as I
Yeah,
walk up to his house, he's got six fireplaces at
six.
this house. Oh, dude, a pickleball court, a basketball court, a pool in the back. I mean, this special clay tile roof that I was like, oh my gosh. Well, come to find out, he's the builder of that neighborhood. And I was like, oh, awesome. So I go up there, knock on the door. I'm so excited, and he's like, hey, are you here for the lights on? I'm like, yes, sir. He's like, well, that's more for my wife. He goes, I'm born on Christmas. I hate Christmas. I don't even like lights, but this is for her. I'm like, my joy level went from here to like, oh man, oh bummer, okay. But it ended up being an awesome job, man. Yeah, like well, because his drip edge was metal and I couldn't attach to the clay tile, so I had to do magnetic on
Yeah.
the drip edge, switch to the gutter, switch
Oh
back to
man.
metal, switch to gutter. Then he had a concrete part, switch to concrete. Then he had wreaths, ground lights, trees. I mean, it took us all day, and it was two of us. It took us all day to do it, but it was a lot of fun. I would consider that one a commercial one, and we've got a few other commercial accounts that are great, but uh, those are the fun ones, man.
Yeah, it
Those are the
seems like
fun
you had to
ones.
pull out like a Swiss Army knife of skill sets for that one, right? Like you're talking about, like
Well, it was
that's what I mean by knowing the product, right? It's because you're like, hey,
yes.
here's I understand the construction, but how am I gonna do? Oh, we got to use the drip edge with magnetics, and then we got to go to gutter, and then it's like,
Hmm.
okay, well, what type of clip? And everything's faced the same way, and then it goes into where that's not a first time job type thing that you would approach because you
Right.
could do it and you could learn from it, but it's going to take you maybe 2 or 3 days to finish it versus Ryland's one day. You know what I mean?
Joey, I've never
So
shared this with you before, but my first time custom job. Are you ready to hear this?
yeah,
Ah, okay. So this was out in Keller. This was probably eight years ago. And I didn't know, right? I didn't know about the female cap that you just, cut the piece off and you could
yeah,
connect anywhere. And I'm thinking I can do this. And those three-prong adapters
yeah,
that you plug into the wall? Yeah. So I hung the front, all in one clips. I'm connecting everything with these three-in-one adapters. I've probably got 5 or 6 of them on this house. And they wanted wreaths. I put those on. And then they wanted the ridge done. So what did I do? I got a staple gun. I'm like, I'm going Clark Griswold on this house. And I'm stapling this wire to the ridge. And come to find out, man, oh, that was so wrong. It was so ugly, so
yeah.
trashy. And I had messaged the lady years later, and I said, hey, I just want you to know I'm sorry. I mean, I really did a bad
Was
job
she
of
happy
that.
with it, or was she kind of like,
Well,
oh,
it looked amazing, right? It looked great, and she loved it. But then the next year, I was like, hey, I only charged you this. I've got to charge you this. And she's
yeah,
like, that's way too much. And so I was like, okay. So I guess the next guy that came showed her everything, and so she flipped out. And all I could
yeah?
say was, I'm sorry. And I didn't know. I'm sorry.
But you were the guy that like you open a box and you're like, what the heck did this guy do?
That
You know,
and that's
that
that's
was you.
me. Yes, yes. I was that guy.
Well, we all had
And
to start somewhere, right?
oh,
Is
yes, brutal. But I'm like, but
yeah.
yeah, it was a tough lesson, but it was
Well, I mean, but that's nice for you to admit that because to be honest with you, not all of us do the right thing the right way at all times. But as long as we learn from it and you don't cause any harm or damage by any means, but that's why it's so important to go to these trainings and everything else is because if you would have gone to a training or even a
a
free training,
training.
you would have been like, oh, you don't do it like that. I would have done it that way. And you're like, no, man, you don't do it that way.
No.
Because we'd all open that box and all be looking at your thing like,
What are
this
you
is a
doing?
Rylan. This is a Rylan house.
It's around the
Right. If you find those in the DFW, just
house.
DM Rylan and be like, Rylan, what are you doing out here, man?
Dude,
Yeah.
you just opened Pandora's box for me, man. Thank you for that. I'm gonna get tons of messages because
That's
of
not
that. Thank
Pandora's
you.
box. That's Rylan's box. Okay.
Hey, 100%. That's 100% Ryland's
That's
box.
100% Rylan's box. It'll have a 100% sticker on. Look at, I don't know if you caught it earlier, but check this out.
What
She
am I
said,
looking at?
do you see the comment down below?
No, I can't see
No,
it.
you can't see nothing.
No, I can't see. Dude, technology, bro. I can't see nothing.
Is that your relative, Minda Hust?
That's my mom
That's your
being a
mom.
supportive mother.
She wrote 100 emoji. She put
Oh,
100
that's
emoji.
one. So we just need 99 more.
Just 99
So
more. We can give that free, 99 C9
99,
bulbs away.
99 C9s.
Yeah. They're
We'll
99
give you
cents,
no, we'll give
99.
you 100. We'll just throw a different color bulb in there. So just to
I'll
kind
throw
of
one,
offset it.
I'll do all warm white, and then one of them in there, if you don't know which one, will be a twinkle.
Oh, twinkle.
A C9 warm white twinkle bulb. So you'll be just
one
What is that
twinkle
bulb
on a
doing up
house.
there? Yeah. Your
Is it
customer
out?
comes out, is like, is it out? It seems like it's on, but it's out. It's on. It's out.
I've had to
It's on.
go here 8 times.
She says, if I put 99 more, do I get a prize? No, don't like just dump on. I need
If you
99
get
different
99
ones.
separate people, so
Yeah.
share with all your friends,
Yeah.
get
Put a Facebook
99
post
different,
out.
yes,
Yeah.
99 different comments. So if you get 100, then they get the free 100 bulbs. We'll do
There you
that.
go. Yeah, we'll do that. Yeah. Easy peasy.
Yeah.
Well, let's see what we got. What we got here. Oh, you got my private chat. Let's kind of wrap it up a little bit and see if there's any last words that you want to say. Kind of introduce your company a little bit, the number, the website, whatever, the Facebook. How did they get in contact with you? Your services, just like what's it called? Chelsea says an elevator speech, kind of. Give me your
Elevator
speech.
speech.
Yeah.
Let's see. I don't have an elevator speech, but I'll do my best. So, Agape lawn and Christmas lights. I do both, do mowing and Christmas lights. Trying to downside, slow down the mowing side so I can build the roofing up. Um, but I'm all referrals. You contact me at 817-366-9119. I'll get back to you. No websites, no nothing. I am strictly referral based and recommended based. I love operating that way because it already establishes trust. And so that's the way I want to continue to operate, and I love it. Websites, we've seen how this has gone so far. So AI, websites, technology, that could actually cause me a lot more work. But referral based all the way. Yeah, contact me at that number.
Yeah, no, I love it. We actually kind of started a referral program because people were like, "Hey, if I refer, I got this kind, and they're like, everybody kind of wants something for spreading information, like helping people out. And I'm like, you know what, there's more. I view that as a form of marketing, right? So like, if you have to pay for like a referral lead or something like that, a referral program that you have, and you're like, okay, I'll give you 5% or something like that,
Yep.
whatever it is what if you spent that money on marketing with like Google ads, Facebook ads, or AI agents, or whatever you want to say? Is like, if you spend that money, would you get that return? And
Right.
most of the time I'm saying, no, you wouldn't. So the referral program actually is a form of marketing. That's the dollars you're spending, you're actually getting more from. And then they're also referring, saying, hey, I got this great service. You should get this great service too. So now you have somebody validating you, and you don't get that with your own advertisement.
Exactly.
The advertisement is going to say, hey, Murphy Christmas Light, we're the greatest. Lights at Wholesale is the greatest. But what you need is validation, like on our lightsathwholesale.com Facebook group. Oh, these customer service is the best. I know somebody said, I think it was on Invisalights or something. They're like, hey, I try to get in contact with somebody. And then somebody replied and they said, there's no way. I screenshot it. They said, there's no way that the people at Lights at Wholesale did not respond to you like as a customer service thing. They weren't aware of it or something. Like, did you call them? Because that's like, there's a 0% chance. And that's what our customers are saying. Like, this is not what you're stating. I can't get in contact or I can't get an answer for this. That's impossible. You here's 5 emails, here's 5 phone numbers. Maybe you're not engaging in the right way of how their systems operate or something like that. So that's what I mean by validation. Is there's also other people's experiences, right? Like yourself, is if somebody came up to you and said, hey, where can I get great Christmas lights? Or whose brain can I pick about Christmas lights? I'm looking to do this, right? And you would be like, you need to go over here, right? And so that's what we want. We want people to get good experiences, do good business, and we all empower each other. Like that's literally our mission in our state, like what we feel in our soul every day. And so I feel like that's why we're successful. We of course want numbers to go up and we want things to happen, but for the most part, we want the quality behind it. The quantity of volume, everybody wants that. Every business wants that because we can do more stuff with it. Honestly, we can hire more great people and we can feed other families and we do these things. But structuring in the right way to really be impactful in across the nation, really help people across the nation. I mean, I find that that's what we're doing here. We're getting a ton of response. So as long as we keep getting that engagement, keep getting people like Rylan and stuff that's coming up that's saying, hey, these guys are doing something different. Hey, they got a 3-day training coming up. You should really, like, you think about FOMO and stuff, like fear of missing out and stuff. You may get a little bit of that if you don't come, because you can see the videos that I've been making and stuff. We're going to make a badass video and it's going to be good. And it's going to be looking like you are taking control of your business because you are by attending this training. You really are. You will walk away. If you don't walk away with something, I don't know, like it's impossible.
That's on you.
It's because you didn't ask a question that everybody has questions. Come with 10 questions. I'll answer all 10 questions of everybody. It will not come with questions, right? Like, oh, I'm just going to absorb it. I'll tell you things, but also, what do you want to know? Right? What are you missing in your business? Because that's one thing with big trainings that I find too, is that do you give everybody a space to speak? Right? Like if you're in a big lecture hall or something like that, do you raise your hand and to ask the teacher a question? You kind of wait a little bit to see if it's going to get answered. You know what I mean? To try not to interrupt the lecture flow,
Right.
Or like maybe ask a stupid, dumb kind of question. It's like, hey, should I staple on the roof? And everybody's like, the beginner course was last week, okay? And it's like, I don't like that. I want it to be an environment where anybody can ask anything and we move on from it. No, you don't staple. Right. This is how we do it. Next question, right? And so I think with the amount of experience that will be in that room, and we want people with very big experience, because the commercial day, the third day, is commercial. I'm going to be spearheading that because we do 85% commercial, and it is a different beast of how to do it. But a lot of people like yourself want to get in the commercial space, and it's like, well, how do I do it? How do I be successful with it? And how to navigate all of it is it will put you years ahead, I would say. Because it's all the lessons learned that we learned. You know what I mean? So if you're interested in that, you've got to follow these pages and everything, because that's where we'll be announcing things. So definitely follow that. And then always there's other pages, but mainly follow my personal page, follow the Lights That Wholesale Facebook group. And I don't think you can go wrong, because you're on there, right, Rylan?
I'm on there. Yeah, I follow it. Yeah, I like your posts. I like your videos. Hey, I support you.
You don't like them. You put a heart. Okay, you love them.
Well, I'm going to start putting a 100 sign now. So we'll just make it official.
There's got to be a rap song, because every year I come up with like a song that I just really kind of listen to and gravitate to in every season. And so last year was a song, and the year before that was a song, and it's almost like just on a playlist, and it's like I hear it like every 10th song or something like that. But it's a song I love. But there's got to be some song that says 100.
There is. That's going to be our job over this next week, is to find that song.
Well, if you guys know of a song and you're watching this, put it in the comments, because I want to hear it. Yeah, I mean, I could ask AI. I ask everybody to do like, hey, do some research and get us the best song for the season.
Hey, and if they find us one, that will be your new customizable ringtone when you call me. It will be that 100 song.
Everybody needs a custom. I did bring in this for your thing. See? See, I could just be installing lights, just listening to that song, just like
that would be a great motivator.
Yeah, same hit with the beat, passing the mini light around the tree. No.
But everybody shouts 100.
Yeah. You're just anytime you pass by and somebody's installing Christmas lights this season, just yell out your window 100.
100.
And we'll know, dude.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome.
Anyways, well, let's wrap it up. Rylan, it was really good to, again, every time we get together, I always have fun. So I'm glad fun. You came on here. I want anybody, they need roofing, they need some Christmas lights or anything, definitely hit up Rylan. You want to say something?
Yeah, one more thing before we head out.
Yeah.
Guys, girls, doing this business, we get wrapped up in work. And we've talked about this. Make time for other friendships. Like I know Joey started coming with us. We have guys that meet once a month for breakfast. You know, if we can serve somebody, great. If not, we just get together for breakfast, because guys got to have that time, man. Set aside that time, even if it's once a month. Get together with some guys. I mean, if you're in the North Fort Worth area, you want to get together and have breakfast, man, give me a shout. We'd love to have you. That's what it's about, man.
Yeah, right. That's one thing we didn't mention this, but Rylan, that's one thing he wanted me to like, hey, you should come over here. We got this guys group. And he asked me like 5 times. He's like, hey man, sorry, I keep asking you about this. And I looked at him and I said, Rylan, you keep asking until I come. You just keep asking about it. Okay. And he's like, okay. And I was like, but he felt bad for keep asking me. And I was like, man, I'm busy. I got a container coming in. I got this. But I did start making time for that. We do, this group of guys, everybody's going through different things too, is the crazy part. And you kind of get a third party person being like, hey, I get this. And it is refreshing to do that. But we get up, we eat breakfast, and then, we do help widows and stuff like that. We did, even in the rain, right? It started raining.
In the rain, yeah.
You brought out ponchos. I was like,
Hey,
are we
look,
really doing this? And you're like,
we're
I'm
doing
prepared,
it.
man.
We're doing
Nothing gonna stop us. And I was like, okay. So I'm like short-winded, breathing heavy, like pulling weeds and stuff. But you know what? She probably
But you did
really
great.
appreciated it. Yeah,
She
she
did.
really.
She loved it.
Yeah.
She
So if
loved it. So
anybody's
that's
interested
awesome,
in
man.
this area and want to be part of that kind of group, definitely DM Rylan and he'll get it set. He is this one spearheading it. It is his main thing. But I do find it refreshing and just come one time. It doesn't hurt. Get up early, be active,
Get up early.
and
Yep.
participate. Yep. So
That's right. That's right.
but DM
All
Rylan
right.
on it. DM him 100. Find us a song. That's 100. Use AI. I don't care. Find us a song and then shout out 100. Anytime you see a Christmas I install, shout out 100. I'm gonna do it.
Do it. Video it, but you got to send it to me, or it didn't happen.
Oh yeah, you got to record it.
Got to
Don't
record
drive
it.
and record. Yeah, don't operate heavy equipment.
We'll park the truck first, and then record it. Then you can drive.
Yeah, exactly. Safety first.
Safety first.
All right, Rylan. Well,
all right, buddy.
Love it, dude, and have a good day. Try to stay hydrated, man. It's starting to get
you
hot
too,
in Texas,
man.
so. All right, man.
Thanks a lot, buddy. It's good seeing you. Bye.
Later. Bye.